Актуальная сейчас очень с вами тема будет у нас, а именно
We're going to discuss very important topic, blockchain technologies and safety of investments into blockchain. And we're going to speak with Andrei Bachurin, specialist in security
определенных реестров
of distributed registries of positive technologies. Hi.
Кирьяновым, разработчиком
And
Smart.
Vladislav Kiryanov, developer of smart contracts in Royal Falls project.
Привет.
Привет.
Здорово.
Привет.
Так, ребят, давайте для начала дадим определение.
Well, in the beginning, we'd like to give definition of the concept, definition to the concept of
блокчейн-технологий и
blockchain technologies and investments, how they are connected, so that we would have this general field of communications. Well, blockchain, in a simple language, is a certain analogy of torrent, distributed torrent, where information is stored in a decentralized manner in several network devices, which are called nodes. And communication between blockchain and investments is that blockchain, it's very easy to build digital currency on it, because token storage in a decentralized system increases the trust to the token and allows us to do any transactions and transmissions more transparent. That's why blockchain investments are directly related.
прозрачными с точки зрения пользователя.
С точки зрения пользователя, да.
Transparent from the point of view of the user, first of all, yes. And more trustworthy. You understand where you get it from. Yes, there is no central body which can control it and can be a denial point. If it's decentralized, if one node is disconnected, all other nodes will pull the network and information will be stored until one node is operational. So even one node is operational through which these transactions have passed, and there's a lot of them. Yes. All the transactions go to all the nodes. The storage is not fragmentary. They all have similar copy of data. This is the main feature of the blockchain. And how anonymous is this? Because the user who has a certain amount of cryptocurrency, can he be confident that nobody knows him, or like everybody knows how much he has? Well, blockchain is absolutely open and transparent, but at the same time, it's de-anonymized by usage of hash technology. Hash function is the basis of the blockchain. With the help of hash, they create a secret key of the user by which he signs transactions, and on the basis of the secret key, an open key is being created, an address of the user in the chain, in the network. And this address is an analogy of the bank card and a personal data analogy, but nobody knows whom this address belongs to. Recently, they started having the Ethereal name system. It's a system which allows to have a 60-digit big address to be connected to a certain understandable name. Like cryptocurrency owners, they have those names, and people can look at their transactions in blockchain and they know that they belong to them. But if this user don't want any publicity, he can have thousands of addresses, and from each one of them he can have transactions, and it's going to be very difficult to follow this up. But architecturally, this is a big field for fraud, for scam. Can you tell me, please, what happens in this area? Which examples of fraud do exist? Examples of fraud, yes. People invent pathways. The most popular attack in blockchain, it's 51% attack. When validator in a network, miners, they come to an agreement, and it happens that they have an advantage in a cache rate, which is a computational capacity of the network to calculate those blocks in which transactions are stored. And they agree, and it happens that they somehow can manipulate this process of adding transactions to blocks. This is the most common case. There are also fraudulent stock exchanges, fraudulent money collections, some fraudulent fund. Does it happen in blockchain and cryptocurrency? Yes, of course. As a rule, these projects collect money at early stages. Then they either leave with this money and disappear. Sometimes it happens that a certain vulnerability happens in the smart contract on the stock exchange, and we'll speak about smart contracts a little bit later, and it happens that criminals sometimes take the user contract and they also take money from the exchange, from application, which also is scam. And how can you say the difference if you're an investor, if you want to invest into a certain project? How do you understand whether it's a fraudulent or not fraudulent? Are there any signs for analysis? Yes, there's a lot of them. The first way is to look at the roadmap of the project. This is something like documentation which describes how the project works, which functionality is available, and if this is available, this is a bonus. Second thing is that developers, founders of the project, if it's open, if you can look at it, this is also a great advantage. Then, a less common way, but nevertheless, this is also one of the most reliable ones, is to look at smart contract, the program of this project. If you know about smart contracts, then you can analyze the code, you can look at whether everything is good and is there any vulnerability. If you see some vulnerability, then most likely this will surface earlier or later and the project will go bankrupt. Well, you've described a situation for an expert community, search for vulnerabilities in smart contracts, but as a regular user who understands that there is a blockchain technologies, who understands that there is a cryptocurrency, but understands nothing about how to find a vulnerability, what about me? Will I have any common signs that possibly this is a fraudulent project and I should invest into it? Well, another thing that I would like to say, it's the economy of the project. What is the common supply of the coins, how they are well distributed? Let's speak in a simpler tokenomics, supply of coins. Can you speak in a simpler words? You have to look at what this project coin consists of, what characteristics does it have, and how it is being managed generally. Andrei, can you translate it to me? Tokenomics is an analogy of economics in the world of the blockchain, because financial unit in the blockchain is a token. Tokenomics is economy of the project, which specifies how tokens are distributed at the start. In crypto project, they have an analogy of IPO, which is ICO. And tokenomics tells us how the initial coin distribution is done, which percentage of coins is being transferred to users for free circulation, which percentage is kept on the side of the founders and large investors. And if founders and investors have very big percentage at the start, it can tell us that at a certain moment of time they can manipulate the price of the token, or they can take their money away and keep all the investors with nothing. Is this information public? Usually this is a public information. There is a document in serious crypto projects. It's called white paper. It's not white, actually, but it describes the main idea of the project. Goals of the project. They can even specify mathematical formulas on basis of which these payments will be done. And Vlad have mentioned a thing called smart contract. It's a very deep level of analysis, and people who just want to invest their money into the project, they are not going to look into the smart contract. This is for deeper analysis, and I do know that serious investors, they hire people who look at smart contracts and they compare it to documentation so that everything would be together. What is Web 3.0 project?
Следующее поколение
Web3 is a next generation of internet. In the beginning, we had Web 1, where users
становления интернета пользователи
in the beginning of the internet could
какие-то читать статьи, журналы.
read articles from magazine,
Да, потребление
content. Yeah.
позволил
Web 2.0 helped us to generate content.
по сути, некое объединение
And Web 3.0 is unification of Web 1.0 and 2.0 on a decentralized locations, so that these flows of information would not be accumulated in only one specific servers, that it would be distributed and nobody could disconnect them, nobody could block anybody by some signs, etc., etc. So this is more free internet, generally speaking. But does it mean de-anonymization? De-anonymization comes from the fact that user is represented by his own address. No personal data is available. So you cannot compare by address him with his phone number, place of residence. None of this is stored in blockchain. Vlad, what is the main difference between the classical project investments from Web3?
Я на самом деле тут не эксперт, но
I'm not an expert here, but I do know
инвестиции в обычные проекты, они
investments into regular projects, they can be divided into several check analysis, graph investigation, possibly. Well, Andrei, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe somehow we can look at the company which has some shares, a fundamental analysis, technical analysis, shares analysis. Yes. As for the Web3 project, studying the white papers, studying the tokenomics, studying the smart contracts. So these are three common things for this analysis. Well, it's a totally different approach. It is a totally different approach. And technical analysis is very similar to classical fund market analysis, because future investors, they look at graphs, they look at upcoming downgoing trends, and they make assumptions to the price of the asset on the basis of the previous data. And investments into the crypto project, everything is very similar, but fundamental analysis is very different. And Vlad has been speaking about the main moments, and we should look differently at these. It won't have most of the indicators for the fundamental analysis. They might not have the market capitalization at the start, some classical indicators. So if you need more technical approach, because investments into crypto project, by default, these are investments in more technological sector. And everybody knows that during investments into IT, fundamental analysis is also very different, but with crypto projects, it's different by 180%. But you can lose everything. No, the same investments into the blockchain when it was $60 per Bitcoin, then it became 60,000, then it was 30,000. What is this? Is it a roulette, unpredictable one, or somehow you can forecast it? I'm speaking about the fundamental and technical analysis. In the case of regular public market, it allows you to forecast future behavior. Not always, as we can see that, but nevertheless, as if investments into blockchain technologies are less predictable. Maybe I will agree to this. The cryptocurrencies are subject to more volatility, but it happens because main cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, the second important cryptocurrency, they are connected to the condition of the stock exchange market in the US. So payability of Americans who are the main consumer of the cryptocurrencies
Штаты, не Китай.
United States, not China.
В Китае, на самом деле, крипта
In China,
запрещена.
cryptocurrency is prohibited officially.
Гораздо более всё
In
легализовано.
the States, it's more legalized. That's why cryptocurrencies are connected to American stock exchange indices.
То есть постепенно
But right now it's being disconnected.
оказывается, и
So
именно
cryptocurrencies,
даже
and very often we can see different dynamics, different directions of these dynamics, but it doesn't happen all the time. For example, if refinancing rate is being changed in the United States of America, if it is increased, Bitcoin, with the absence of other growth drivers, will also drop. But why? It can be multi-directed. Well, if
например, фондовый рынок может расти, но
the stock exchange market will grow, but some cryptocurrency stock exchange will go bankrupt and user trust is dropping and they start pulling out their money from cryptocurrency and Bitcoin can drop on the background of just simple cost. Well, when we speak about the investments into the blockchain technologies, we are speaking about cryptocurrency investments, or this is a wider concept. It is much wider.
да,
Okay, let's list all the areas. Well, speaking about investments
токены,
into main tokens,
это действительно будет наименее предсказуемый вариант
it
инвестиций.
will be a less predictable option of investments. The thing is that token by itself,
Биткоин
the Ethereum, Bitcoin, became a cryptocurrency, general network cryptocurrency,
суперинтересные проекты
and many super interesting projects, blockchain projects.
на блокчейне
They
Ethereum.
work on the Ethereum blockchain and they produce their own native token,
В это
and the investment in this can be more
более результативно как раз за счет того, что
resultative just at the account that the project can be very interesting.
можно увидеть в
And
проекте
you can see in the project some usefulness, some real usefulness that it carries, not a virtual, but for the physical world. And
несмотря на то, что сейчас
even
рынок
irrespectively to the fact that markets are down,
в себе имеет
and if the crypto project has some real usefulness, its native token, utilitarian token, can be used. So most likely it will survive during this current crisis. And it can show, well, utilitarian, you mean liquidity, you can buy it and sell it. Not only this.
Например, есть проекты, где
For example, there are projects where users get
в виде вознаграждения
tokens as a repayment for storage of big volumes of information
они просто за
at their account, just for renting out their
валюту. И поскольку сейчас
hard drive, they receive currency. And right now, amounts of information in this world grow geometrically. This becomes highly demanded. Free capacities, they always are needed by somebody, and these tokens are utilitarian.
Блокчейн, Filecoin.
Filecoin, да.
It's like Filecoin.
Как она
Yeah, Filecoin.
Давай поговорим, Влад, про
Well, let's speak about NFT. What is the value of it?
Вот, моя любимая тема.
That's my favorite topic. Well,
Есть несколько тоже таких основных направлений.
there are
Первое,
other directions here. First direction is
NFT отличный способ инвестирования.
NFT is a best way of investment into some musician, talented person who faces the situation that places his work at some web platform, and this platform takes certain commission,
Эта комиссия может быть даже
and then this commission is increased, and NFT plays as a way when all the money will go only to the creator,
ему шанс
and you give him a chance to develop his potential.
Вторая ценность, наверное, это использование NFT.
So the second value is using NFT as a way of authentication. NFT
доказательство, что вы
is a
владеете
proof that you
каким-то
own
предметом, и у вас есть право
some
доступа на что-то.
item and you have right of access to something, and this
Способы реально
is a logical way
аутентифицировать себя, войти в
to
какой-то сайт,
authentify yourself, to enter a certain site or a platform and prove that I'm the member of this community, I can do this, I have the access to this.
логин, пароль, получается.
So this is advanced login password.
можно так сделать.
Yes,
Да, 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 да. А,
it
и
is.
вот, наверное, еще
And then perhaps the
крупную ценность,
third
которую я выделю, это
value that I have selected
метавселенные.
games and meta universes. The thing is that modern games, how do they work? You have a certain skin, you have a certain character, certain appearance, but they do not belong to you. And at any moment of time, they can take this. And NFT, because it's all built on blockchain and smart contract technology, it is connected to your wallet, to your address, and nobody can steal it and take it away from you. And you can always be confident that playing this game in your character somewhere in the Warcraft will not be deleted, will not disappear, but you will continue playing. And then about the safety of blockchain technologies and NFT owners. Let's begin with the basic ones. Yes, I will separate this topic into two topics. Speaking about the security measures for investments into crypto projects and blockchain, we should look at what this crypto project offers. If it offers big percentages, like 100, 200% of profitability, annual profitability, then most likely there will be it's going to be a scam, a fraud. So it's going to be, most likely everybody who's been offering big access. But what is going to be normal X? Well, speaking about profitability in stable coins, a stable coin is a token whose cost is connected to dollar price. A normal stable coin will cost from 99 cents to $1, 1 cent. So its value cannot vary. Profitability can be up to 6 or 7% annual. So it's like a deposit, a little bit more. It's not too much. In other tokens, not stable coins, it can be higher, but no more than 10-15%. We shouldn't follow those X's or you have to approach it wisely. Blockchain investments are for people who are better, who are wiser, and they understand that free cheese in a mousetrap. Speaking about those who want to buy NFTs. Right now, many people do speak about NFT, and very often there's some hype around it, and people want to buy on this hype. And sometimes it's very difficult to see real good NFT projects, but some NFT enthusiasts, it is very difficult because the same picture can cost $1 million or $1. Same. I agree. And it's hard to see the difference, the fraudsters who just want to make money. Also, you need to keep secret cryptocurrency, crypto wallet, because the crypto wallet is the main way of authentication in a blockchain network. And there's a seed phrase. Seed phrase is a certain master key on the basis of which you can find all the secret keys of the user, and you have to store it in a secret place and not on the same device where you do the entrance into the crypto wallet. And I know that many people keep it in the book. In the middle of the book, they write the seed phrase, and this book travels with them during all the trips. Then, in the NFT world, they also have very popular classical phishing, like in Web 2. Letter comes as if from the official company, for example, from the NFT marketplace, like OpenSea, but it looks like an official one. The address of the sender can be different by one letter, and if the user will not be able to notice it, he will click it and will hit the page where he's going to be proposed to enter the same seed phrase. So you have to be very careful to which links you open, which postal
распространены
Then another thing is the fraudulent cases when employees of some company, like in the NFT marketplace, under the view of representatives of the company, they've been getting connected to a potential buyer through messengers. And it's better not to do that, because you will never be confident that you are communicating with an employee of the company. It's better to communicate through their official account, which usually will be shown on their official page. All right, thanks. And can I add to this last advice? I did have similar situation when I've been written from the official support of the project, but because I have learned, I've read several articles, I have discovered this criminal, and I have blocked him in all the networks, social networks. And honestly speaking, the founders of the project and support, they never write to you as first one. Sometimes they write on their page and social network that we are never first to get in touch with you. If they are first to get in touch with you, these are criminals and fraudsters. And there is a case sometimes when there's a fake account of the project owner, and from his account they distribute some fake messages about airdrops, when tokens are being distributed free of charge through the mint of the token. Mint, it's introducing token into circulation, and we give it free of charge. But this is also phishing to steal your money. Better don't do that. Okay, thank you very much, dear friends, Vlad Kiryanov and Andrei Bachurin, about the investments into the blockchain, cryptocurrency, NFT technologies. It was very interesting, and I was able to see that Vlad is very young, that this is an area of investment for a very young generation, because those people who are a little bit older, they think in a classical categories, different market analysis, but these are totally different approaches, totally different analysis tools. And the most important thing, what I found out for myself, don't follow big excess being promised to you, and promise to you this profitability that is being promised, maybe 10%. This is maximum that you can expect, even in the case of those new interesting things as blockchain technologies. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.